Nobody here yet. Alrighty. Oh, okay. Come on, you. Thank you. Hello, redhead. Anime or Amy. If my phone shakes and wobbles a little bit, it's because I'm in my bedroom, letting my wife be in the new living room with the foster puppy. For those of you who weren't at my wife's live, we have what we're thinking, excuse me, is a Chiweenie. Basically, it's a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. She's very small, like a bean almost. Not like a small bean, but anyhow. Um, I'm in the bedroom with Oreo, so Oreo can be napping and letting the puppy nap. Um, this little puppy that we're basically temporarily fostering since the owner wants it back, um, which is fine by me. Um, we'll be going home um, tomorrow. Um, there was a number of different reasons why this friend of a friend wanted to let go of the dog, and then 2 days later realized that she wanted the dog. Part of it was whining, part of it was, I don't know the full story. All I know is our friend came by with this puppy and asked us to foster it, and of course, it's a cute little thing. You can't really say no to puppies or kittens because they're so cute and lovable and cuddly. But this little thing has a feisty side to her because she was not taking any of Oreo's garbage. I want to say other words, but of course, it was, yes, can be a lot to handle. She is, because she has almost the same whine for everything. She has the same whine for wanting to eat or drink. She has the same whine for needing to go outside. She has, you know, whine for wanting to go take a nap. So, and when she wants to take a nap or doesn't want to play with Oreo, she'll let Oreo know, even though Oreo thinks it's playtime. Um, see if I can pronounce this right. Carissa. Um, I was going to do a Bible study today, but because of the storms that we had in our area and a lot of other things going on, that kind of put me in a stressed mood and I couldn't focus. And because of the power being out for nearly 4 days, a lot of our plans got pushed behind. So I am basically, I got to sit down and pull out my planner book and see if I can plan some Bible studies for next Sunday. Probably Wednesdays and Sundays, my vlogs, because I'll do it in a vlog form so I don't get into any misdirection or arguments. I will do my Bible studies in a vlog form, and then I will have my normal Sunday live. I've got to recoup, get my head back on straight, and sit down with my planner book and try to plan things out so I can have like, I liked having structured, scheduled type plans. Yes, I do get upset from time to time when things don't go my way or the way I had hoped it. But I'm not as bad as I was. I get so bad that I would be like, get all, you know, upset and pissy and moany. I'm drinking a energy drink because the weather and whatnot, I feel really like wiped out. But I have a lot of things that I want to plan out. Um, let's see here. My truth, I am happy that you came to my chat. I mean, I like it when everybody that I want to come to my chat, and sometimes new people can be interesting because they're new, they're learning about me and my interests and likes and things like that. So it's always nice. Well, luckily we did not have any like notable structure damage except for like hail pock marks on the outer window seal on mom's side of the house. So, well, the last 2 weeks were crazy. The thing is, my neighbor that way has some minor roof damage. Neighbor 2 doors from him had some minor roof damage, mostly like tiles and whatnot. But then the third house down, which has got like a little, they got a school bus that they're changing it into a schoolie. I don't know if you guys know what it had a whole tree come down. Luckily, once they removed the tree, the only notable damage on my side without going in his backyard was a little dent from where the tree landed. It's like the whole tree blew over, roots and all, you know. But then a couple blocks down up from here to towards Highway 63 going through Raleigh, you go up 72, which is basically the next highway over right in past my neighborhood. You can see like major damage. Houses got the roofs torn off. A couple businesses were demolished. The Dodge dealership that I go to take my car in had structural damage, like the roof came collapsing in, or like the roof got rolled in, or something like that. But my house had no notable damage. No severe damage, just little itty bitty pock marks from hailstones. At her age, she is barely old enough to be away from her mother. Well, that's the thing is we don't know how old she is. We don't really know how old she is. Somebody said 8 weeks, and I'm like, 8 weeks from the mother. How did that happen? But like I said, I don't really know how old she is. I just know she's still a pup. Hello, Mercury Rising. Who else has come in here recently besides Mercury Rising? Redhead, Corey, Amy, Cassan- Cassandra, Carissa. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name properly, hon. Coleman. I'll just call you Coleman. Everybody knows how to pronounce Coleman. Dune. I'm just gonna call you Dune because your first name does not look familiar. Oh, that's in my neighborhood. Wonder if it's that one house. They're always having problems. I don't know if like one of the kids has some sort of medical illness or what, but there's always something going on in over there. But hold on a second, folks, because hey, when she does that, she's either gonna want me to go look at why those police cars went through the neighborhood or what. But one of the things that bugs me is when she does that, I have to reset everything. Um, she knows it ticks me off when she tries to call me while I'm doing a live. Um, let's see here. I like lives too, but I also think for revenue, I need to do more vlogs because they make me the most amount of money. Jerry and the puppy are, well, Jerry's not napping. She's staying awake. The puppy is napping in our front room, living room, whatever you want to call it. Mostly because Jerry wanted me to bring Oreo in here to put her for her nap. Because I know with the puppy and Oreo, it's kind of like, what the hey. So I let him rest. Especially that puppy. She sleeps a lot. And, if she's 8 weeks old and away from mom, the puppy needs as much sleep as it wants. Yes, new people are always great. Um, oh, I know. I know. I'm only human. But I'm a flawed human because of various psychological problems. Most of them are unfortunately genetic, um, or occurred because my mom was maybe smoking while I was in vitro, because mom was known for smoking and drinking Coke all the time. So I don't know if she took a break while she was pregnant or not. Of course, I am what they call a miracle or rainbow baby because I would have had an older sister if my mom didn't miscarriage. So, but it is believed that my ADHD, ADD are genetic, but we're not sure, or at least I'm not sure. And my bipolarism, anxiety could be because of the way I was raised, or just problems growing up. And it really, the bipolarism and anxiety did not really start until, part of it's the bipolar, not the bipolarism, the anxiety issue, probably started after dad retired and passed away. The bipolarism probably started around the same time. I was never a social type kid. I always kept to myself, and I was always quiet, and I was the one that everybody tried to pick on. But it's kind of hard to pick on somebody who's faster and more agile than you are. I learned at a young age to just ignore a lot of negative words. But now that I'm married and my wife or my mom is older, I easily get triggered when people speak ill of my family, and that's kind of a trigger. That's why I don't like people who have channels that talk negatively towards my family. But it still bothers me. Let's see here. Redhead, I think I answered your question. No, we did not get damage to the house. Just like cosmetic damage, hailstone damage. No broken windows, no damage to the house. Just little pock marks in some of the window sills on mom's side of the house, and little things like that. All right, let's see here. Your dad saw my pictures on Facebook. Um, yeah, I heard that Walmart was a mess for quite some time, but it seemed like, from what I've heard, Walmart got cleaned up the fastest. Um, that's what happens when you have millions of dollars sitting around and not properly paying your employees. And Mercury, forgive me, but I forgot your dad's name. Um, Tom. Tom. Does not ring any bells, but that's probably because my brain has troubles with names. Hey, Marguerite, glad to see you here. Yes, you did arrive a little late. Um, Oh, you just returned. That's right. There's that time difference. Um, I'm glad you made it to mine, Marguerite. It's been very interesting conversations lately. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. I. This is the first time in decades that I've lived in an area that has the tornado alarms going off, but does not have an actual tornado. This particular tornado, which was classified as an EF2, which is just basically very high winds and damage, basically high damaging winds. Nothing that could really rewrite the landscape, but it did a number on Raleigh, which I was kind of surprised because, like, okay, you know. And the thing was, is right before they had the sirens go off, I was looking out my front door porch that looks across the street at those neighbors, and I can see how the winds were just whipping and yeah, I was like, oh man, those winds where they were, I was like, that's a tornado. But it didn't do any severe damage to my house. It didn't practically didn't do any damage to my house. My one neighbor lost a bunch of tiling. Another neighbor lost a bunch of tiling. Another neighbor had a tree fall down on their house. A neighbor up the road that enters into this neighborhood, their back porch was all wrecked. So I was like, oh man, I am so glad my neighborhood did not have heavy damage. But then, like the day after, which was Friday, I went to see my mom and take some stuff over to her, and I had to take a detour, and it was like houses tore up, trees down. One of the grocery stores was messed up. On my way back, I took a route around the damaged area, and like the antenna, the big old antenna for the radio station there was down. The roof for that the one little mini mall, and I think God did what He did because they were selling. Granted, they were selling legal narcotics or not narcotics. They were selling marijuana products. That roof got tore off, and the Dollar Tree, Dollar General next door had part of the tin roof laying against it and like pieces of wood jutting out of the building. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I've never been in the aftermath of such devastation by nature that it just made me go, it's almost like Hurricane Sandy. It was a once in 100 year storm. So it was just like crazy, crazy. Um, yeah, I'm glad I have either luck on my side or a very big guardian angel that just like, not today, you know. But still, it hit deep seeing all these people that basically lost their homes or are going to have to get a lot of money to rebuild their roofing or their second floor, you know. So it's just crazy. Um, yeah, I'm glad there was no damage. Um, the only thing I have to worry about is there was a small limb, not a very heavy duty big limb, that fell uh, a- on the house in a corner, and I have to either get my step ladder and try to get up there and take it off and hope to see that there's actually nothing wrong. Um, Otherwise, right now I'm gonna just knock on wood, nothing, no damage was done. Um, okay, Walmart manager. Oh, I think I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Um, Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about now. Walmart manager. One of the managers. Okay. Should shut those alarms off. If at any point in time I lose volume, let me know because I have an alarm that goes off every 45 minutes or so to change laundry. The thing is I haven't even started laundry, let alone divided it. So yeah. Let's see here. Yes, Jerry can look outside. We're the room that we've converted into our living room. Um, there's a like a bank of windows that she can use, grab her or get up and open the curtains and see across the street and across that way. So she can see outside. Um, well, I think that's one of the things that we're going to try to work on, Redhead Storm, is finding ways to schedule or give at least 12-hour notification that we're going to do our live at 12, but I think we're going to push it. Well, yeah, 12 would be a good place, or 12:30. That way most of the people who go to church, except for maybe people on the uh, Mountain Central and Pacific time, um, might miss us, but they can, not to be mean to anybody who like Marguerite who's in California. um, you know there's always watching it later on if you arrive too late. But yeah, I would like to start scheduling, like, hey, let's do our let's do her live at noon or 12:30 and schedule it for like hour and a half, and then 2:30 I can come in and do mine for an hour. I don't like going over an hour, but I do sometimes, so I'm not worried about it. Excuse me. I'm trying to get myself energized so I can go out and do um, laundry, other stuff in the kitchen. I want to work on the kitchen today to get it done so we can start focusing on everything else. See, my wife is one of those type people who will spur the moment type people. I'm not. I like to have a scheduled, structured, you know. Yes, my thing is I got to give myself grace to say, hey, look, you might not have gotten this done today, but there's always tomorrow. Um, so that's what I've been trying to do for a while. Corey, the only thing I can give you a notification about is maybe our lives, but I don't know how to like give notification on my vlogs. You know, um, found you through the fundraiser. Hope this will help towards April's rent. Prayers about Jerry and you being able to purchase your home. Hope those things come true. Come along. Yeah, was it Wednesday? I think we have a plan to have mom over so we can do a marathon. Well, not really a marathon. Several episodes of Curse of Oak Island, and mom wants to schedule a time where we can get together and watch a mini series about the house. It's called The House of David, and it has to do with the life of David. From his birth to the lions to Goliath. No, is it the lions? Was it the lions? I know it's got Goliath because I saw a preview and saw that Goliath. David taking down Goliath. Um, so yeah, um, I'm and I'm happy. I'm happy. Celia. I don't know if that E is silent or the A is silent. Celia. I don't know. But I'm glad you decided to check me out. Stop in and see what my channel's about. So, House of Joan, what's right? What are you saying right about the ability for me and Jerry to stay here? Well, I can tell you this much without a shadow of a doubt. April is taken care of. I'm not going to tell you how. It's all legit. It's a combination of some money from something Jerry was dealing with, and I had some money from a 401k from Walmart. I don't mind telling you because it's the truth. We're not doing anything illegitimate. We're doing everything through legitimate channels. We just have to sit down and talk to mom about signing the house over to us without her being penalized or anything like that. So it's a lot of things that we're working on. And last time I talked to mom about, you know, the sale of the house or us taking over the house, she's not worried about being paid back the money that she put out for plumbing on the house or trip to Colorado. I think I actually paid her back for that, but she's not worried about us paying her back. You know, which I appreciate, but I also told mom we'll find a way. We'll find a way. So, but we've already talked about that. Um, yeah, I think so too, Redhead. I just get I let's just put it this way. I'm gonna tell you a little story. Yeah, no mods. Nobody. Nelly didn't come back or anything like that, which is fine. I mean, I can take care of myself. Um, I want to tell you a little story about my life. And this has to go back. This goes back to when my father passed away. No, it's not going to trigger any negativity or anything like that. When my father passed away, and granted, I was just, I was a teenager. I didn't know much. I learned a lot of hard lessons through trial and error. But my family, my aunt and several cousins that lived in Arizona were telling me that I had to be the man of the house now, and I had to be the protector of my family, my mom basically, and a lot of other things. And about the same time, a lot of other things that were happening to me personally that never shared with anybody until 10 or so years ago, maybe longer. Um, I basically I misunderstood what they were trying to tell me, because my father's side of the family. My aunt and her kids were very Catholic. Granted, my aunt was married into the family, but she had a very strong sense of family, which kind of was the way my father was too. And because I misunderstood what I was being told, I took it as in like I'm the boss. I'm the one who makes certain kinds of decisions. Um, I'm the one who decides who comes in or who. Oops. Um, so a couple years after my father passed away, I was about 17, almost 18 years of age. Um, my mom got involved with this group called PWP, Parents Without Partners. So most of the people who were in this group basically were exactly that, parents without a partner, whether it was somebody passed away, divorce, separation, whatever it was. And she had met this guy who I'm not going to say his name, but he's from Australia. And at first I was thinking, oh, Now, I never met the guy, but oh, mom's been in Australia, and I'm thinking like Crocodile Dundee. Um, did not know the Irwins yet because I didn't get into his TV program because at the time I don't think he was on the Animal Planet yet. But at first I thought it was cool, and then the day I met um, Hey Bluegrass, the day I met him was at Thanksgiving, and there was supposed to be an adults, parents without partners dance. My mind was like, no, this is Thanksgiving. It's a family event. Mom should stay here. Well, as my mom and I were discussing it quite heavily, loudly, whatever you want to call it, he got in the middle, grabbed me by the shirt collar, pulled me out of my aunt's house, and threw me out of my aunt's house. And uh, that was like, no, this guy does not belong in my family. This guy does not deserve my mom's attention. Um, and at the same time, the whole spiritual, psychological PK, whatever you want to call it, was like red flag, bing, 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 bing. And I knew right there and then, just because of the gut feelings I was getting, I was like, this man does not, no, this man is going to try to take over my family, try to kick me out of my mom's house. I was getting money from my dad's VA pension, Social Security or something like that, until I turned 21. Um, and I was I did not control my own money. Mom was doing that, you know. Then I got to the point where I just didn't like what I was seeing or feeling. I said, "Ma, you have to teach me how to do my own money. I want to take over my own money. I'll give you X amount of dollars for living here, and then I'll go out and buy my own food, whatnot." Mom agreed. Mom tried to show me how to do a budget. Did it. Um, well, I got to the point one year that I was just up here with anger. I was just pissed. I found a pair of my dad's old shoes that were too big for me, and I brung them down. I offered them to Mike. I was trying to make peace and whatnot, and trying to be kind and collective. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can fit them. They're a little too wide for me." Blah blah blah. And I said, "Well, do whatever you want with them." Well, I came downstairs a few minutes later to get myself a drink of Sunny D, which I bought with my own money, had marked it with my initials. I actually marked it a certain way that um, I don't know where that thing is. It's actually a branding iron. With my dad showed me how to do our initials because we both had the same initials, JDH, in a certain way where it looked like a brand. You had like a long line for the J, for the J. The J went down here. A little piece goes there, and then another piece goes down here, leaving hangover for the J for the whole thing. That was the H. You take where the J goes, go all the way over to the other line, and there's the D. There's the branding iron symbol, JDH. I had it made after my dad died at a place called Rawhide, which was a sightseeing, a tourist attraction in outside of Phoenix. Actually, outside of Scottsdale, which is a part of Phoenix. But anyhow, I went down there, and his kid was taking my Sunny D and pouring himself a glass. I flew off the handle. I grabbed the Sunny D bottle from him. Um, I basically went upstairs and drank that glass of Sunny D that his son basically poured for him. Yes, he got my mom to bring his kids from his mother-in-law in Nevada to live with us. Not something I was kosher with. But when I came back down, and it wasn't a glass, it was a plastic cup, you know. I came down, he started getting in my face, and I threw that cup from the dining room straight into the kitchen sink. And when it hit the kitchen sink, it shattered two of the glasses that were in the sink. And I looked at him as I turned to go upstairs, and I said, "You better start sleeping with one eye open, because I'll cut you open like a Christmas turkey." I found out after my mom realized how bad he was after I moved out and seen counselors and whatnot. My mom realized how bad he was. That he was just being a moocher. Sorry. Um, so thankfully, my mom woke up to the truth of it all and basically kicked him out. And a couple years later, we moved to here, to Missouri, me and mom. So that was my teenage years. From 15 years of age to 20, almost 21 years of age. Um, Basically, I got out of that house. My counselors found me a program called LDI, Life Development Institute. Basically, help teach you things that you need to know for your life, like cooking, how to do a resume, how to do a budget, how to clean and take care of your apartment. Of course, after being there for almost a year and realizing, wait a minute, there's something wrong. There's four people living in an apartment, two per bedroom. Not mixed genders, and each one of us are paying $250 a month for an apartment. Basically, that's $1,000 a month for four people that live in not the best conditions. And I finally went, you know what? I got a job. I'm earning money. I moved out into a studio apartment that was that was about $100 less than what I was paying for the apartment at LDI. So yeah, I had a rocky. My life up until my 30s was pretty rocky. I mean, from the day I was born to 84, when my dad retired from the military, the only thing I knew was, hey, yeah, you've been here for 3 years. You're getting pushed to move. You're being moved to a different location. So that's what I knew growing up. So that became like, oh, that's a habit. Because even after my dad retired, living in Arizona, in Phoenix, we moved from one part of Phoenix to another part to another part to another part. Dad passed away. Mom and I moved to a different part. We came to Missouri for one of her aunt's funerals. Um, Realized, hey, it's better living here. We're sitting on real grass under a real tree, not dying of extreme heat. And that's why we moved to Missouri. But that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Um, let's see here. Oh, Joni, House of Jonah's here. Okay. Um, yes. This is a different name now. I don't know. Eh. Um, I don't know why you can't see Margaret, their redhead. So I'm surprised. I gotta find stop those alarms. What was that one for? Oh, laundry. Um, yeah, I don't know why I don't have any. I think Jerry's trying to do her own thing and give me my space. I don't know why any of my other mods have not appeared. I'm surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised Bluegrass isn't here. Um, yeah, not that we need them right now. Um, yes, it was. I, the helpless part wasn't seeing the storm coming or realizing the storm was hitting town. The sad part, the helpless part, was driving around town and seeing all these people, all my fellow Rollins, um, losing their home or having to clean up after the storm. So it was like, oh my God, I'm lucky that I didn't get any severe damage or anything like that. But to see these people having to remove trees from the tops of their houses, or try to find their belongings after the storm ripped the roof right off their homes, stuff like that. It was like, oh my God. Um, and I just felt helpless because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help them. So there's a lot of places that I drove around, and I was like, "Do you guys need help? You need me to run and get you some water? Can I do something for you?" "Oh no, we've got it. Thank you very much." And there was a lot of people from town and the surrounding area that had come to town to help people out. So I was like, the only thing I could really do is offer to get them water or something, even though I didn't have much water in myself. Uh, and what bugged me the most is Salvation Army, or not Salvation. I can't remember who it was in town. It wasn't FEMA because the government did not declare this a disaster area, or Uncle Sam, the guy up on Capitol Hill, whatever his name is, um, didn't offer to say, hey, yeah, we're going to send you to FEMA because you had a natural disaster. No. Our state governor was trying to get a group together of his own people, and I forgot what it was called, to send down to Raleigh. And it wasn't just Raleigh; it was a lot of different towns up and down Highway 44 that needed the help. And you know, our national government did not even offer to send out FEMA. But there was a group that was sitting by the high school, and they were offering up warm food and whatnot, but only to the emergency people, not to the citizens of Raleigh who are basically out of food, out of they didn't offer blankets or anything like that. Salvation Army finally came around and started offering up assistance, clothes, blankets, stuff like that. Um, exactly, exactly. Our hi bluegrass. Um, yeah, if God decided to snap his fingers, we would be on our own. No power, no modern day conveniences. We could have been blown back to the Stone Ages if God decided to do that. Um, but you know, that's why a lot of us hope and pray that when the time comes, we're prepared for it. Nobody was prepared for it here in Raleigh, because 9 times out of 10, the tornadoes jump over Raleigh. They barely touch Raleigh. You know, um, what's okay? What's for dinner, Joni? Hold on. I skipped too much. Uh, Storm cooking dinner. Sorry for the delay in responses. That's fine, Joni. Um, at least you're responding respectfully, and that's what I like. That's what I need more than disrespect from some people that I've seen on my channels. Um, okay, let's see. Let's see. Be interesting to find out what Joni is making. Smash burgers. Ooh, smash burgers. I think for dinner tonight is going to be. Oh, shoot. I didn't bring in. Oh, wait a minute. Probably something with chicken or ground beef. I think we're going to do the Nordic chicken salad. Um, I'm going to try to record it because I don't remember if we've done it or not. We probably have. I just don't remember it. But we'll see. Um, we need videos during the week. Yes, I was going to do vlogs during the week, but when the tornado came through, between no power and just more focused on trying to become more on these freaking arms. Um, so it's I see why that one went off. It's 3:30, almost 3:40. I have an alarm at 3:30 to remind me to take medications. And because I keep on just telling it to um, pause or whatever, it's gonna go off every 10 minutes or so. Um, like I said, what I might be making for dinner, Redhead, is either something with chicken, like the Nordic chicken salad, or something quick and easy with ground beef. Um, so we'll see. Yeah, I know. I actually wanted to take the 2.5 pounds worth of ground beef that I have and make meatloaf that will last for a while because meatloaf sandwiches are nice. Reheated meatloaf is nice. Roast some vegetables, and then before the vegetables are totally done, put a couple slices of leftover meatloaf in there to crisp up. I like it that way. Um, yeah, I know, redhead. I need to find a way to schedule my lives, especially. Um, it's actually going really good. Today is kind of a hard day because it's wet and rainy outside. So my lower back and my left knee today is being bothersome. But when I go to start doing housework or anything that I'm gonna have to stand up long periods of time or bend, I will be putting on a knee brace and my back brace. Um, yeah, yeah, I exactly. I'm gonna start using my planner more often. And since I go in there every morning to do my blood sugars, my glucose testing, um, I'm in my office where my planner book is. So I just have to set up my planner book so I can see that every morning. Um, okay, I did not realize that I could do that. Yeah, I'll have to try to do that. Um, Sorry about that. Next time that goes off, I might go offline for a second just to shut the alarm off so it won't keep on going off. Um, we haven't watched it yet, but I've seen like previews, and it looks really good. And I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that. And Jerry Ann and I are kind of like, should we hold that until like right before Easter, then watch it like Easter Day, just binge watch the whole thing, or what? So yeah, um, I'm sorry you have to go, Corey. See you around. Thank you for being here. Okay, I'll take your word for it, Joni, because like I said, from the previews, it looks really good. That's all right, Corey. Thank you for letting me know you were leaving. You have a good day. Hopefully your week is good, and hopefully I can get more videos out. I'll help mod anytime you need it. I'm mod for several other channels. Redhead, that might be a possibility. I don't know yet. Right now, I am kind of playing things by ear, but kind to get back on a more structured. I guess the only thing I can say is structured pathway or lifestyle. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. But it's been tough going because never can tell what day one of us, myself or Jerry, don't feel like doing anything, or um, like I might write out Monday, we're gonna finish up the laundry and do the kitchen, but then something happens where the kitchen gets put off, or the kitchen doesn't get totally done. Which I don't mind if it doesn't get all the way done, as long as we at least make headway. Um, so, um, does Jerry ever use my screen name? No. What you've seen on other people's channel is directly from me and how I feel about what certain people are saying. So yeah, no, they're from me. Because like you, bluegrass, you're trying to look out for my mom. I'm trying to look out for my whole family. So yeah, and I will say this much: the last week or so, I have not been myself. I've been really down. I've been really mad. I really don't. I don't like the idea of like I said, gut feelings. I go by my gut feelings, and yeah. Thing is, I would not have known anything about what was being said on Diane's channel or anybody else's channel if somebody did not, give me a heads up. And unfortunately, I'm a curious creature. I shouldn't have. I should have just left it alone. But now that I'm looking at it, and I wish Diane. Well, let's just say I hope Diane was listening. Um, and this is going to come from the bottom of my heart because, like I said earlier, because of a lot of my past and being fed wrong information and being very family conscious and family oriented, the things that has happened with mom be and what people have said, yeah, I'm happy that mom has found a place for her to be happy. I wish we could have gone with one of my plans. Yes, now that I look back at it, the amount of money that I was looking at to spend for a piece of property where we had enough land for mom to build a tiny house on the back edge or whatnot so she doesn't have to hear the dog or us. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a lot of things I don't know what's going to happen. But the thing is, I get triggered when I feel people are trying to use a family member to drive a wedge between us. And that's like the ultimate trigger. And it's like, no. No, trying to break up my family is gonna be a no. One, it's gonna be a no go. Two, hell or high water coming, I will keep that from happening. Um, Now that I've seen mom's place and I visited it a couple times, and seeing how happy she is and seeing how more vibrant she seems to be, um, I'm happy. I'm happy for my mom. I'm just not happy that I feel like people have used ill will towards me and my mom, towards me and my wife to drive my mom to moving out. Now she tells me that she was wanted this. Sorry, I had to turn off that alarm. I just don't like the feeling that I have that people have used mom's wishes and desires to put a wedge. Now, if mom would have really sat down with me and Jerry when the three of us, um, sorry, I, I'm just kind of like the way things happen and how fast it happened. Sorry, I'm accidentally pushing my thing around. I'm I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy in the way it happened, or I was not happy in the way it happened. But the thing is I've come to realize, or whatever, however you want to put it, to um, just put it to bed. You know, so it's just something that not only have I gotten over it. Yes, I would love to have a nice piece of acreage or a couple of acreages for mom and all of us to live on the same general location where I need to, in order to visit mom, I just need to walk across, walk across the field or whatever you want to call it. But I'm I want what I want. This is what I want now is I want everybody to just stop having negativity towards me and my wife. Um, what's going on with this house is between me, Jerry, and Mom. Nobody else should be in the middle of it. Nobody should be trying to put input into my mom. Somebody said that they were trying to tell my mom to just kick us out of the house and move on. Okay, hon. Thank you. Um, and I'm like, why are you trying to tell my mom to sell the house out from underneath us? That's not a decision for them to make. It's a decision between the three of us. There's no other parties, not even Carla, because it's between me, Mom, and Jerry. Nobody else should be flapping their gums about it. Um, um, hold on. Hold on. Somehow I hit a button and it moves things. Okay. Um, Diane Newman. James, you gave fake subs. Nellie Limber, that illegal Marguerite, Ethel, B&G, you know this, right? First off, Diane, you're new here, and my subs that you just mentioned are not fake. And saying that Marguerite is illegal, huh? Guess what, hon? Every person in this country that is not Native American are illegally here. We came across the ocean, whether you were English, Spanish, Portuguese, I don't care who your ancestors were, you came across the ocean, or your ancestors came across the ocean and literally pushed the indigenous people out of the way by any means possible, moving them to reservations off their normal ancestral ground, murdering them. So anybody who's basically an Anglo-Saxon or Spanish, Portuguese, French, anybody whose ancestors were not born in America are here illegally. We came over and conquered this land thinking the Native Americans were too stupid to learn how to live off this land that they've lived on for millennium or more. So, your comment there, girl? No. No, 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 no. I will not accept that kind of a comment. You ever do that again, and as far as I'm concerned, you're out of here. You're done. You're over with. Um, because I will not. I will not allow you to belittle my people. Um, actually, Bluegrass just arrived in time because of that nitwit. And by the way, you calling my people fake? You're the fake one. Nobody in here calls each other fake. Hello, Arcadia Door. Nice to join us. Um, yeah, Blue Glass. I'm kind of, you know, I'm glad you're here. I really am. I was kind of wondering if you were if you were going to come in because of all the stuff that you're dealing with. Um, so yeah, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I was a little off kilter. I shouldn't have said anything. Period. Um, the reason why we decided Rolla, Missouri. I don't know if you're talking about when my childhood moving here. Um, oops, here we go. What it was is mom and I, who were living in Phoenix, Arizona at the time, after she finally woke up and got rid of that guy. I'm not going to mention his name because it ain't worth it, as far as I'm concerned. Um, was we came out here for basically one of her aunts passed away, so we came out here. We were after the funeral, we were walking near where my aunt lives. My aunt Sue. Sorry, brain's a little slippery. Um, I we basically the family, my aunt Sue, my uncle Dave, and my aunt Joyce, and a few other family members were walking into a park, and there was a live, free live concert going on, basically orchestra music, and we went under. Mom and I went under a nice big shady tree, and I decided to sit down underneath the tree, up against it, and I looked up at mom and said, "Mom, why are we living in Arizona where we're basically dying of heat? We're both uncomfortable living there. Too many memories. It caused too many issues." And she goes, I don't know why. And so we started discussing it and decided that we wanted to come back to Missouri, or she wanted to come back to Missouri. And since I never really lived here, I lived in Arkansas, which we're not going to talk about. That's way in the past. I don't remember a lot. Um, so that's what made the decision for us to move back here. Now, she went to school here, grade school. Her sister was in high school here. Her brother was junior high here. So I had a lot of good memories from mom. And yeah, I was trying to say, let's move to Colorado back then, for a lot of, I don't know what reasons. Um, Besides, two of my cousins were living in Colorado at the time, or at least one of them was. And I was so enamored or fell in love with my favorite author, Mary Summer Rain, and I wanted to move up there to experience what she experienced and maybe learn from her. But I guess that wasn't in the book or in the plans for my life. So, you know, Corey, I'm happy you were able to be here. Oh, you're shopping in all these right now. Okay. Um, so there was a lot of reasons for moving to Rolla, or to mid Missouri. So yeah. Let's see here. Hello, Brenda. Didn't see you come in. Oh, there you are. Um, let's see here. Do do do. Oh, Brenda got her cat back. Yeah, I was happy for that. Um, I like all these too because a lot of their produce and whatnot are fresh. So there's a lot of good things about all these good foods, seasonal foods. Um, I don't know that place, Joni, so I couldn't compare it. Uh, Simone's girl is here. Okay. Uh, 129 people. Okay, that's awesome. Um, I'm gonna skip over a bunch of you guys' comments because I want to get towards the bottom so I can start to sign off. Cold meatloaf sandwiches are nice. A little spicy mustard, yes. I don't use regular spicy mustard. I use the Engelhofer Stone Ground, which you get that mustardy spice from Stone Ground mustard. Hamburger steak, yes, yes. Been a while since I did that. Um, yes, I want to try to do more because between um, one of the organizations here in town, which is actually connected to a church group, they have free cooking classes. Now, the first one they canceled because the person who was supposed to be the trainer in these classes decided to not do it. So now we have two people who are part of the Mizzou, which is the Missouri State college team, or one of them anyhow. But Mizzou is the major one. They had two people come out to help with the this cooking class, and it's not just cooking; it's dietary information, healthy dietary type information. And first day that they had their course, they gave us a nice little cutting board with that said MSU or something Missouri, yeah, MSU, Missouri State University, eat like a tiger, stamped onto the cutting board or onto the handle, and the recipe of the day of that day, which was supposed to be um, uh, beef stir fry, but since they didn't have the beef for it, they used, which surprised me, canned chicken. And they just basically made the recipe like they would with the beef, but instead it was canned chunk chicken that they broke up. So it was really good, and I was surprised. And I want to do that recipe one day. And that will probably be one of the first recipes I do for a video when I get back onto doing cooking videos. Um, yeah. Um, no, Simone's girl. Um, we are trying to work together to settle the place so it gets transferred in our name without using VA. Um, the the bank that holds um, the deed and whatnot to the house. They said they can easily transfer it to me and Jerry. Mom just has to. We just have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, which we're trying to finalize so we can send it to this insurance company. And basically, they work with and without VA. It's just a matter of signing it over and disconnecting the VA aspect. I think they even said that I think, don't take this for granted or for stone, and don't take it like it's in stone. I think from what little information I have, that, like I said, it's just a simple signing transfer paperwork and possibly setting up a new, like, instead of using VA, using like the bank that holds the paperwork on a first home buyers type deal. But like I said, I don't know. I only know what little I know. Um, so don't take that at what I just said for granted. Other than we are not. Mom, mom has agreed after I talked to her not to sell the house, but to try to transfer it to our name. What happened, from my small amount of knowledge, was somebody somehow found out about, somebody basically called our old realtor and said, I'm looking for houses to flip or something like that. And our neighbor, who basically did the work for flipping the house, is going through the realty agent to sell the house. The same gentleman took a look at our house, and I don't know exactly what happened, whether he didn't want to pay the amount we were asking for. But basically, we never heard anything back from this gentleman. Another person who works with the realty agent wanted to take a look at the house for I don't know what purposes. Haven't heard back yet. And my mind is going, how did these people? I thought the house was off the market. Why is it all of a sudden the house is being shown like it's on the market? So I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. Yes, we are cooking different now that mom's here. No offense to my mom, because I know how she is. She's not a big spice person. Me and Jerry like our spices. So one day we did chicken curry wraps from the Nordic book, the Nordic Way book. And I realize now, oh, we didn't record it. So next time we go to do that, I got to remember to record that. Um, so, um, I do want to, now that this tornado hit, there's a lot of things that me and Jerry want to do. We want to get solar. So if power goes out, we have the solar energy. We want to get storm windows so they're stronger. Or at least I want to get storm windows so they're stronger. And I'd like to get this house um, I don't want to say rebuilt because that's not the words, but I want it restructured. Yes, I do want to put a storm cellar or a storm shelter. I just don't know how much it would cost for that. So there's a lot of things that we want to do for what ifs. You know, there's a lot of things that we want to do for what ifs. Um, yeah, I'm gonna need to here in a little bit. Um, I've been on over an hour. Um, I understand that, Red Hill Storm. That's why I want to try to find a way to notify people well in advance. Like you said, or somebody said, at least half an hour in advance. Um, a moderator starring my comments. I don't know what starring my comments are, but I do have a moderator who is looking out for you know people who want to be negative. Um, I am getting calmer. I am see part of my problem is, and I think we talked about this on Jerry Ann's um, live this morning. Is um, sometimes the way words are put out, um, I misunderstand the um, meaning or the emotions or the energy behind it. So I take it like it's written, and I'm going like, what? Um, so that's an issue I have. Um, and yes, Red Storm, I am. We all are. Myself, Jerry, maybe even Mom are dealing with a lot of stress, for one thing or another. So yeah, yeah, I know bluegrass, but like I said, I get triggered a little too easily when I'm already under stress and de-stress or whatever you want to call it. So no, under stress, I'm trying to de-stress. Uh, so um, Mercury, I was a little upset about the gifts because I mean I'm not trying to say that the gifts serve a secondary purpose. But there are times where certain kinds of people gift things. There's an underlying purpose, and I don't want mom to get caught up with somebody who's going to be like, well, I gifted you X, Y, and Z. I want something in return, or I want your loyalty, or whatever. Um, and unfortunately, because of past incidents and past dealings with various types of people, and my mom's ex boyfriend after my father passed away. Luckily, she's not interested in that kind of thing anymore. Um, I just like, why are they gifting her? What are they gifting her? Are they? And mom explained to me that a lot of these gifts are already on her Amazon page, and they were just picking stuff off of her Amazon page of what to gift her. And I mean, yes, hindsight being what it is, after thinking about the conversation with mom and just thinking about like, okay, maybe there's no underlying purpose. Maybe it's genuine. This is what she's asking for. This is what she feels that she needs. Let's go help her out. Now, I know I cannot help my mom out with monetary gifts or whatnot. I can only try my best to help my mom with support and that kind of thing. And hopefully, once certain dealings are done and over with, we can help my mom out with various things when she needs it. So um, it's just one of those things that I have to stop overreacting to comments and things that are being done for my mom, for my family in general. So it's one of those things where it's like I just got to get over the past and things that happened that were you know has happened. Well, bluegrass, I agree with you. Um, well, that's the thing is bluegrass. I did try to listen. I tried to do my best, but I was literally in between a rock and a hard place, and it's kind of hard to be the middle person trying to make everybody happy and lose my happiness at the same time. It was no good for me. Um, yes, you're right, redhead. There's so many innocent comments that I take the wrong way, but there's also just as many that are uneducated to the situations of my family and our dynamic. Um, oh, I know, Bluegrass. It's not that nobody made her move. It's just how quickly she started to move out once she got her bonus or whatever from VA. And my biggest concern wasn't her. This wasn't just the speed of what she was moving out. It was there's a lot of things that need should have been done before she moved out. But I don't know whom, whether it was me, Jerry, or mom, was dragging their feet about. I blame myself just as much as I blame everybody else. Um, but like I said, it was the speed in which she took off. It was the a lot of the things on the net that were I couldn't tell if they were positive or negative, and they were all over the net about Musk and Trump cutting. If you have VA, you can't get Social Security, or vice versa, or something like that. And I didn't want mom to get like settled into a new place and all of a sudden find out VA or Social Security was basically taking a chunk of money out of her earnings. That was my biggest concern. Um, so I mean, it's. I'm just gonna say this: it's done. It's over with. There's nothing I can do but get settled down and focus on the house and what's going on with the house. I'm glad she's in a place where she can be happy. Um, she's got So there's a lot of things that I'm happy about. Right now, I'm stressed and nervous about me and Jerry and what's going on with us. So um, I'm sorry that you're dealing with kidney issues there, redhead. Um, um, I am glad she's happy too. I really am. Um, oh yeah, yeah. I gotta get off here soon so I can take my medicine and start doing stuff that I need and want to do. Um, um, let's see here. Um, Preface. It made me mad. Made me sad that you said over your dead body when somebody asked if Sally was selling this house, because they don't know their information. Okay, we are going to exchange into this house. That is the reason why we've got paperwork. Basically, mom reached out to her, the people who basically hold the deed and the banknote or whatever you want to call it, saying who owns this house and who doesn't. According to all our information, all the people we talked to, both the people who hold the notes, the bills, whatever you want to call it, for this house, a friend of ours who is a realty person. There are ways to put this house in our name, remove mom's name from it, so she doesn't get penalized for any problems that happen with this house. It will be in our name or my name. Um, so you have nothing to worry about. And far as I'm concerned, if there's another person who wants to say anything about mom trying to sell this house, drop it, because all you're doing is feeding into negative thoughts of other people, and confusing my own mother. I've talked to her point blank. Jerry's talked to her. We've made an agreement. That's all you guys need to know. You don't need to know the ins and outs and any more than I've already said. I was not mad at mom getting gifts. I was mad by some of the people who were giving gifts because, like I said earlier, I get concerned about the underlying schemes or whatever that other people could have rattling around in their brain. Um, so I love you found that emblem, that little meme there, Dre. That's great. Um, yeah, that's why the person's blocked, so I don't have to see the stupid comments. Um, yeah, if you're trying to get things heated up, folks, one, I hope Bluegrass or my wife blocks them because I don't deal with that shit no more. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to say this proud and loud, if you want to stir shit, do it in my face, not behind a computer, not behind a keyboard. Because right there and then, if you can't stand up and be in my face about it, you're a coward. And I'm not going to let you get me heated up any more than I already am. Because I'm cold as hell. Um, yeah, I see that you ghosted her. Thank you. Well, Sapphire, that's fine. That's fine. All right. I don't. I don't. I don't care how you got here. Okay. If you're respectful to the indigenous people, that's great. But if you're gonna call out um, about nationality of other people and try to claim America as your home when it's not really your home, it's a taken over hostile territory. Um, then that's when I get worried. Okay. So Sapphire, I'm sorry that you feel jilted or anything like that because of my comment about people trying to claim that they're American when we're not. We're Anglo Saxons. That's a history thing. You can look it up in various history books. But I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to ditz anybody who are not ditz. That's the wrong word. Downplay or anything like that. Ancestry of people who were brought here by force. Those who decided to come and take this land by force, I don't agree with. I will not deal with because I'm proud of my ancestors. My longest known ancestry, which were the Norse people, discovered the Americas, or what is now part of Canada, um, by mistake. They were blown here. They were basically blown off course and landed here in the Canadian, which is now Canadian territories. But they never tried to rob, pillage, steal, murder, or push anybody out of the way. They actually came here after they became Christians, and when they landed here by mistake, they landed on what they called Vinland, which is basically means vine land. The land was covered by vines, basically. And they decided to explore all the way as far as Michigan and Minnesota westward, and as far south as the Carolinas, and as far over from the Carolinas to the Mississippi Valley. They didn't try to kill anybody. They didn't try to push anybody out of the way. They actually tried to live in harmony with the indigenous people. It's the English during the 15, 16, 17, 1800s that came over here, fought their homeland people because they were most of them were brought over here as slaves. But once they freed themselves from England, they started trying. They basically conquered and destroyed the natural order of the United. Um, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm getting into almost an hour and a half. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I'm sorry if I skip a whole bunch of people. Um, Actually, I can because it's still happening. But the thing is, it's not happening just to the Native American people. It's happening to anybody and everybody who's not white, who's not Anglo Saxon. You've got all different kinds of people who hate crimes against various nationalities, skin color, religion. It's an ongoing thing. And the thing that gets me is it's our ancestors who did it. So, yeah, it boils down to us because we descended from them, and depending on how we treat other skin colors, other nationalities, other religions, is is what is at problem. And um, that's what gets me is how other people treat other people because of various differences. Okay, and I don't care. I really don't care what nationality, what skin color you have, what your ancestors were, or where your ancestors came from. Today, what it boils down to, excuse me, what it boils down to is how respectful we are to the other races, the other creeds, the other cultures, the other religions. Okay. I've gotten hounded. Columbus was considered Anglo Saxon even though he discovered the Caribbean islands. And I will tell you this, if you know Native Americans as well as I do, they hate Columbus. Because if it wasn't for Columbus, we would not have had Europeans flood over here to take over new lands and become landowners. But the way they dealt with the Native American people is what gets me. That's what bugs me the most. I mean, yeah, I should be. Genoa. I know what Genoa is. Well, I know Genoa sausage. But um, I know. Well, Columbus. Yes. Okay. You're right there, House. Columbus is Italian, but it was the Spaniard, the Spanish queen or empire, that basically hired Columbus to find a way to what they thought was going to be a way to the West Indies, find a faster way to get to India and China for the silks and the trade. But he found, um, um, yeah, uh, the Caribbean islands. And yes, I do know that Columbus was Italian, but he worked for the Spanish queen to find a faster way to, trade routes. Um, Nowadays, anybody who is white is considered an Anglo-Saxon. I do know where the Saxons came from, so I don't need a history lesson. But as Bluegrass just said, Spain paid for it, and that's why the Native Americans don't like Columbus. And a lot of people do consider him Spanish because of the fact that he was working for the Spanish. But yes, he is an Italian person. Um, so I'm not trying to say that Columbus was Spanish, and I didn't. I'll be honest with you. The word Genoa, to basically point out the Italian. I guess it's the Italian word for Italian people or Italy. Um, okay, Joan, I don't want to argue with you. Okay, I understand your points. Um, the okay, Columbus was hired by Spain to find a faster trade route to um, basically Asia, India, the trade routes from Turkey, Istanbul, to the Silk Roads that led to China. That was a trade route. The Spaniards, or the Spanish people, wanted the Queen of Spain wanted to pass away. She wanted to find a way to sail there and beat the competition to the Silk Road so they can sell their products. Unfortunately, um, this is a piece of history a lot of people don't know. So I'm just going to put it out there. Then I'm going to end because things are getting a little too hostile, and I didn't want it to be. So I apologize, Joan, for offending your family, your husband and his ancestors. Spain hired Christopher Columbus. Here's the thing: is Leif Erikson, who was a Norseman. This was after a lot of the Viking or Norse people had become Christians through I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy and the king of Norway were at war, and the king of Norway decided he didn't want to lose any more people, so they got converted to Christianity. Leif Erikson's father, Eric the Red, did not like this, caused problems. He got kicked out and basically became the Icelandic uh, person. And Iceland didn't like him. They got kicked out of Iceland, and basically he founded Greenland. But that's not the point. Point is, the Spanish people wanted to find a fast route to the Silk Road, or to India to trade. Um, I'm gonna let it go. This is history. I'm learning things. I'm trying to teach things. Well, Christopher Columbus did not know how to sail the ocean blue. He did not. So the only people who really knew how to sail across the ocean without current or without basically just simple navigational tools. Now the Norsemen hired or not hired, learned from Leif Erikson and several other Vikings how to use the stars using a sextant and a special compass that they discovered using a piece of iron or lead or something like that on a compass in water, true north. They learned a long, long time ago how to sail the ocean on their boats. Now, the Spanish built bigger boats and said, take these three boats, learn how to get to East India, as they were calling it at the time. So, Christopher, hearing information and news about the Norse people who already knew how to sail across the ocean, partially by accident, partially by learning the way of the stars and the sun and all that stuff. So, 500 years after Leif Erikson already landed in North America in the Canadian regions, Christopher Columbus went to them and learnt how to use the tools to help him cross the Atlantic Ocean. So, after he learned all about sailing and the tools used for navigation from the Norsemen, he went back to Spain and said, now know how to navigate the ocean to get to East India. Of course, at the time, it was kind of thought that this is crazy. Trying to cross the ocean, the earth was flat. Whatever. So, Christopher used all his knowledge and started sailing west. Now, some people would scratch their head, he's going west to find East India. How is this possible? Well, they found the Caribbean and thought it was East India. And granted, he lost his ships and a whole lot of men because of storms and scurvy and all kinds of other things. Now, when he sent word back to Spain, that's when Spain was like, okay, We are hearing a lot of legends about the lost city of gold, the fountain of youth, blah, 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 blah. So Spain sent conquistadors who started conquering the Caribbean, Central America, southern or southeastern USA, and most of South America. That's why a lot of countries in South America has Portuguese dialect in their dialect. They mixed it with Portuguese, Spanish, and their native tongues. So that's what I know about Christopher Columbus. Now, you've taught me that Christopher Columbus was truly Italian, not Spanish. Sorry, folks. I had my somehow I hit mute. Um, Thank you. Like I was saying, Joan, this was very educational for me. Hopefully, it was educational for you to understand what I know about Christopher Columbus. And a lot of you guys informed me that he was basically working for the Spaniards, being paid to do this expedition. One of the many things I did not know. Just like I get, come on, I get triggered because of I know that Vikings were an occupation, not a group. So when people nowadays go, "I'm Viking," no, I learned better. I learned better from actual Norse people, Norwegian people. So anyhow, um, yes, make my breakfast. We can see you. Um, but anyhow, I will let you guys go. I will wish you guys a good day, and hope your week is a good week, and hopefully I can get some cooking videos going. So we'll see. So enjoy your day and enjoy the week ahead of you. See you on the flip side. Bye.